So we call this meeting of the Arundel Planning Board to order. Today is August 22nd, 2019, 7 PM. We're in the MLJ Elementary School Library. We'll start with a roll call.
Yeah, Marty Kane.
Tom again.
James Bowers. Roger Moore.
Susan Roth.
Rich Canong.
Jens Bergen.
Ed Ridley.
Okay, we have approval of the agenda, public comment, approval of minutes, public hearing for Pitchforth subdivision, pending applications, Morocco Enterprises, plenary site plan application, Pitchforth subdivision, which is an amendment to a major subdivision plan, American Iron and Metal, a major conditional use application, Oak Ridge Terrace, major preliminary subdivision application, and then under new applications, we have specially designed stables, a major conditional use application, determination of completeness, and then we will have some other business to discuss.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? It is unanimous. The next item is public comment. If any residents of the town of Arundel have comments to address to items that are not on the agenda, now is the time to say so. Seeing none and hearing none, we will move on to the approval of the minutes for August 8th, 2019.
I'll move to approve as written.
A motion has been made, is there a second?
Yay.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is unanimous.
I will abstain.
Is
There's an
there any
abstention, I'm sorry.
abstentions?
One abstention.
Two abstentions. And at 7:03, I will open the public hearing for Pitchforth subdivision. It's an amendment to a major subdivision plan, a proposed amendment to an approved subdivision of multifamily units where the applicant proposes to subdivide off a net 2-acre parcel in lieu of constructing an approved duplex located at 132 Log Cabin Road, tax map 38, lot 18A, in the R3 district. Barry Pitchforth is the applicant and owner, and Stephen Doe.
Like it was.
Yep, and Stephen Doe, RLS of Sebago Technics, is the applicant's agent. Anybody from the public have any questions on this application? Hearing none, I will close the meeting at 7:04, and we will move into pending applications. The first pending application we have is Morocco Enterprises LLC plenary site plan application, a proposal to construct a 5,000 square foot commercial building with 5 leasable spaces, each on 2 approved subdivision lots in the Enterprise Drive Commercial Subdivision, tax map 12 lots 8E and 9, consisting of 1.46 acres, and tax map 12 lot 8E10, consisting of 1.58 acres in the BI district. The two sites will be serviced by a common driveway from Enterprise Drive. Morocco Enterprises LLC is the owner and the applicant. And I'm assuming, Paul, that you are the applicant's agent.
Correct.
Okay.
The applicant is here.
Yeah, yes, I did notice that.
Good evening. Last planning board meeting, we submitted the cost estimate and the revised plan showing the proposed tree cutting limit. I haven't heard anything back from the planner, so I'm assuming that everything's in place and we're hoping to get final approval tonight, 7/2, obviously DEP wetland fill permit. I did receive a letter from, last week I gave you one from Audrey Strauss, and she basically said she had no stormwater concerns with the project. You don't have that one, you don't want to. I already gave you that one. And then Alex, Grobluski, I contacted her and she emailed me back on the 13th saying the order has been submitted for approval and I will be in touch when it's been signed off. So she sent it to Augusta for approval, just a matter of them signing off, so you can certainly have that from Alex, who's been dealing with the wetland part of the project. And as soon as we do get the signed application, we certainly will submit that to the planner. So, for this evening, we're looking for final approval. I do have the Mylars plotted back there, and take any questions that you guys might have.
Does anybody on the board have questions for the applicant?
How are the mosquitoes?
Not as bad as that first night.
I was just thinking that
That was, that was,
so bizarre.
no, not as bad.
They were imported for that evening.
Quite frankly, I was there during the day.
Secrets to keep a short sidewalk.
Yeah,
Really.
I was there during the day, not at 6 o'clock, so that makes a big difference right there.
Paul, of course, I have to have one little.
Yeah.
As I'm writing this up, I'm realizing one little thing. We have one of the required parking spaces is going to be on lot 10 instead of 9. We're supposed to have one space per 500 square feet. We need 10 on each lot. We have a total of 22 in the whole, between the two lots. But we have a space that's on one, in the event that it's ever split, as it shows right now, if they're ever sold out, that parking space should be, there should be an easement to be able to park on it.
And you could have told me that like this morning?
No, because I did this morning.
Oh, so, okay, that's certainly.
Why is
That
something-
could be,
Why is that important?
because if you're gonna have, if you're gonna have parking that's off-site, you need an easement that parking off-site.
Could that
I
be
mean,
a
well-
condition of approval that?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I have as a condition.
I mean, because ultimately, something I thought about that I never really brought up, because as I understood it, he's retaining ownership, but
Right.
ultimately, if they were ever split, you're gonna have to have a joint egress easement. Anyway.
Maintenance. That's the
Right.
second thing we have as a conditional
Yeah.
too. It's that same sort
They'll
of
have
thing.
they'll have an access easement. to
Right.
Get there, all right.
So, I mean, that would be part of the conditional approval, that you'd have that easement, that you'd submit to us and have it available when and if you ever split. If you don't split, then it doesn't matter, but it should be there.
Yeah,
We have,
absolutely.
we have no intentions of splitting them, so.
Okay. You should combine it, then save money.
Huh?
Combine it and save money. Taxes, don't tell Beth I
Oh.
said that.
Maybe we will. We'll talk to the applicant.
Well, you're gonna do that, but you're not gonna tell Beth it, that was
No,
your
no,
suggestion.
they don't do that. I survey a piece of property, if it's more acres than they're paying taxes on, they don't wanna tell anyone. If it's always less acres than they pay, they wanna tell it. Right, yes, that's
You
what
like
I tell
that
them.
one, huh?
Oh,
I didn't think that would be good for value, but that's. your
No, I
decision.
mean, right. Personally, I keep them separate, pay taxes, that's me.
Okay.
Any other
Good
questions?
easements, yeah. And the applicant, as you saw, put in, the site work's gonna cost $132,000.
Hmm.
The other building's just a site work. Fire chief, you saw that also, and you attached that in your complex. The only thing is, when you do the buildings, make sure that we have NFPA 101 life safety here. He's gonna wanna talk to you about separation between those units.
Yep, fire
Okay.
separation, sure.
Yeah, demising those, which I'm well aware of,
Yeah.
what it would be a fire rating.
Right, and
Probably
he would
2 on
appreciate you going over those designs with him.
Certainly, absolutely.
Okay. Otherwise, the buffer that they're proposing, the no-cut buffer, that'll be another thing we wanna make sure that that's spoken about in the deeds, that no-cut buffer shown on there. That meets, that basically makes you in compliance with the landscaping, the buffering requirements of the district. So maintaining that no-cut buffer is critical to maintain your screening.
To a point, but remember when we walked out there, it was all ledge and everything, so therefore, when you say you're restricted to this area, the rock comes in this area, and there's rock all up in here, so when you blast it, you just can't blast to a line. So, you know, the board's gotta understand that, you know, we'll blast
May take
and
a
do our
tree,
best, but,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, that's what our intentions are, just to clear to that point.
Well, then you should modify your no-cut district when you know that.
Okay.
Is the board all right with that?
Yeah.
After,
as built?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, and actually, I think we should stake it out before we do that and stay in touch with me on that. All right,
Stake
Cause I
out.
do have a stake out where you're gonna do the cut, if you're expanding that no-cut district out, I've got certain standards you gotta maintain, in terms of what, the screening standards from the sides. So this is where it gets a little hairy in there, but that shows a fill area in there anyways.
Right.
You're gonna fill in there.
Correct.
Here you're, well, that's where your septic system is, you know, show a fill on it.
But down in front, this is where all that ledge is, where we all walked up.
Yeah,
And there's big mounds of ledge, so you're gonna be blasting out that ledge in order to,
yeah, but you're not gonna violate this wetland.
no,
thing.
not at all.
Okay.
No, but it will go back to partially this area a little bit, in order to blow the ledge to be able to grade it up, build it up, and bring it up to grade to support the foundation.
Okay, all right, yeah, I think we can make those field adjustments.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more than enough there in that
Paul,
location.
the lot that is behind this, it's basically sort of L-shaped. Does it extend back deeper than is indicated?
I guess I'm not sure which L-shaped lot you're talking about.
Lamouris's, looks like Lamouris is up in the upper left-hand corner, and then swings around, apparently.
It does appear that way, yeah.
No, that's, unfortunately, that's the limit of my plotting, it's not a lot line.
Okay, so
That's
it's
just
not
a-
a,
That's just a bill, envelope that my
Automatically
computer
cuts off from the program.
cuts off
Okay.
and bring on
I
that.
was wondering how in the
This
world that ever got
is,
to
this is
be that.
Ames Recycling, the big recycling center
Yep.
on Route 1,
Yeah,
so they have this, own this property right to Route 1.
And that's a,
You
that's
look
a
at the
very
tax
large,
map that I submitted.
yeah.
if you look at the aerials, there's quite a bit of difference, distance
Yes,
between Ames
yeah.
facility and there.
So Lamouris's lot just goes out to the northwest further than,
Memorial
Yeah.
is possible, I think
Right.
it does, come this way, and Ames owns a piece of
Okay.
property. If you look at the tax map that I submitted, you can see that on the tax map.
That's a big piece of property, yeah. For any,
Maybe,
stuff for
there's
any.
still a lot of, there's a lot of disputed, property.
Ames not doing anything with it, so. Okay. So, is the board in agreement that we should allow the applicant to go forward?
Yes.
If so, then I'll read the findings of fact.
Just one minor spelling thing, you see map 12, I don't know if it matters, but it says intergalactic, is that how you spell
We're
it?
noting on,
It's on the left side, it's just designating lot, map 12, lot
Oh, Intergalactic Holdings?
intergalactic, yeah.
where are you?
oh, yeah.
Come on, over here.
Jeez, Tom, good catch.
You gotta spell right with the pronunciation.
Claremont,
Wait.
Intergalactic Holdings.
But I'm not gonna let that hold anything out.
Well, thank you. So what's wrong with that?
It's missing a C. It's intergalactic. You're
Galactic.
missing the C.
Interesting.
LACT.
Sort of like Arctic Cat, assuming that that's what it is, I mean,
That's
Yeah,
right.
it could be.
Gene,
I don't have the,
Is that the
I tell
correct
you, Bruce,
spelling?
Mr. Claremont is a very unique individual, so I wouldn't doubt it if it was a
He
spelling.
could very well, he could have spelled it wrong on the application,
I don't know.
but that's okay. Okay. Findings of fact and motion for approval, Morocco Enterprises project. Whereas on May 23rd, 2019, the Arundel Planning Board received a pre-application site plan submission from Morocco Enterprises LLC to construct a 5,000 square foot commercial building with 5 leasable spaces, each on 2 approved subdivision lots in the Arundel Business Park Tax Map 12. Lots 8E9 consisting of 1.46 acres and Tax Map 12, Lot 8E10 consisting of 1.58 acres in the BI district. Whereas on June 6, 2019, the Arundel Planning Board conducted a site walk of the 2 properties. Whereas on July 25, 2019, the Arundel Planning Board received a complete plenary site plan application from Morocco Enterprises LLC to construct a 5,000 square foot commercial building with 4 leasable spaces each on 2 approved subdivision lots in the Arundel Business Park. The 2 sites will be serviced by a common driveway from Enterprise Drive. Whereas on August 8, 2019, the Arundel Planning Board conducted a public hearing of the project in accordance with section 10.633 of the Arundel Land Use Ordinance. And whereas the Arundel Planning Board has determined the following findings of fact and notice of decision. As of August 22nd, 2019. Findings of fact, number one, the owners and applicants are Morocco Enterprises LLC. Number two, the property is located at Enterprise Drive, tax map 12, lot 8E9 and 10 in the BI district. Lot 8E9 is 1.46 acres, while lot 8E10 is 1.58 acres. Number four, both lots were previously approved as commercial industrial sites in the Arundel Business Park subdivision, approved by the Arundel Planning Board on June 1st, 2004. Number five, the applicant proposes to construct a 5,000 square foot commercial building with 4 leasable spaces and a total of 20 associated parking spaces and 2 handicap spaces to serve the proposed warehouse use of the buildings. 1 space necessary to meet the parking requirement of the Land Use Ordinance, section 51235 on lot 8E9 is located on lot 8E10. A parking easement should be granted from lot 8E10 to lot 8E9 to supply this necessary off-site parking, especially in the event that the lots are conveyed to different parties. I think that should say a parking easement shall be granted, not should be, because
Well,
it
so
should be.
findings of fact.
Well, that's true.
It should be, you say shall later on.
I do, okay.
And again, isn't that only if you decide to split the lots,
Well,
right? I mean, he doesn't split the lots. He still owns them when he goes to sell them individually.
but they're individual lots.
Either, they're individual lots, which is
Okay.
why you would wanna have that on here.
Alright.
I'm confused, I thought it was 2 5,000 square foot buildings.
Yeah,
It says the applicant proposes to construct a 5,000 square foot,
two.
construct 2 5,000 square foot commercial buildings.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought. Number 6, both lots are serviced by a shared driveway connecting the 2 lots to Enterprise Drive. No cooperative easement and maintenance agreement should be established allocating
So a
cooperative easement and maintenance agreement should be established allocating shared responsibility for the maintenance of the common driveway in the event that the 2 lots are conveyed to separate parties. A DEP stormwater permit number L21457 NJCN was granted to the Arundel Business Park subdivision back in 2005, allocating no greater than 31,900 square feet of impervious surface on lots 8E9 and 8E10. The applicant has demonstrated that the proposed development of the 2 lots as proposed will create 31,636 square feet of impervious surface, thereby complying with the limitations of the DEP stormwater permit. Number 8, the applicant is proposing to fill in excess of 2,705 square feet of wetlands between lots 8E9 and 10 for the purposes of a commercial driveway crossing, thereby requiring a Tier 1 wetlands alteration permit by rule. In lieu of developing a landscape plan, the applicant has submitted a no-cut plan showing the limits of the woodland clearing on the 2 properties. Based on the existing cover and the no-cut plan, the proposed plan will meet the screening and buffering requirements of Land Use Ordinance Section 5.9 and Land Use Ordinance Section 6.6.5. The applicant proposes to install a comprehensive soil erosion control plan as depicted on the record plan set. Number 11, the applicant is proposing no additional exterior lighting other than wall packs and over-door lighting. This light will be screened by the proposed existing vegetation buffers. Number 12, documentation provided by the applicant includes a site plan, a grading utility and layout plan, and a detail sheet and soil erosion control sheet prepared by Paul Gadboy, P.E., and dated July 9th, 2019, with revisions through August 8th, 2019. Conformance with site plan approval criteria. After due review and consideration, the Arundel Planning Board has determined the application to be in conformance with the criteria of section 10.6.4 of the Arundel Land Use Ordinance as follows. Number 1, the proposed project conforms to all standards of the zoning district and meets or exceeds performance standards specified in sections 5, 9, and 10 of this ordinance. Number 2, the proposed project has submitted applications to the Maine DEP for a permit by rule wetlands alteration permit. Number 3, the proposed project does not unreasonably impact water safety and fire protection and will not create a financial burden for the town of Arundel in the provision of emergency services and law enforcement to the project site and the neighborhood. Number 4, the proposed project will not have an adverse impact upon the quality of surface or groundwater resources. Number 5, the proposed project provides adequate stormwater management facilities to produce no additional peak runoff from the site during a 25-year storm event and will not have an undue impact on municipal stormwater facilities or downstream properties. Number 6, the proposed project will not have an adverse on-site and off-site impact upon existing vehicular and pedestrian circulation systems within the community or neighborhood. Number 7, the proposed project will not have an adverse impact upon environmental quality, critical wildlife habitats, marine resources, important cultural resources, or visual quality of the neighborhood, surrounding environs, or the community. Number 8, the proposed project will not produce noise, odors, dust, debris, glare, solar obstruction, or other nuisances that will adversely impact the quality of life of surrounding parcels. Number 9, the proposed project will have a positive fiscal impact on municipal government. Thereby be it resolved that based on the above findings and conclusions, the Arundel Planning Board hereby approves the plenary site plan application of Morocco Enterprises LLC to construct a 5,000 square, to construct a 5,000 square foot commercial building with 4 leasable spaces on each of the 2 approved subdivision lots in the Arundel Business Park, serviced by a common driveway from Enterprise Drive, subject to the following conditions. Number 1, this approval is subject to the issuance of all main DEP permits, including wetlands alteration. No work shall be performed until these permits have been supplied to the town planner. Number 2, the applicant shall submit a performance surety in the amount of $133,000 in compliance with Land Use Ordinance Section 10.7 prior to the issuance of a building permit. Number 3, all soil erosion control devices shall be installed prior to the commencement of site work, and no site work shall be shut down for the winter until all required soil stabilization mechanisms prescribed herein are made effective. Number 4, prior to the issuance of a building permit, the applicant shall submit to the town planner an easement from lot 8E10, conveying the right to park 1 vehicle in a designated location to lot 8E9 in order to meet the parking requirements of Land Use Ordinance Section 5.12.3.5. Number 5, prior to the issuance of a building permit, the applicant shall submit to the town planner an easement granting lots 8E9 and 8E10 the rights to travel over the shared driveway, as well as a maintenance agreement where the responsibilities for repair and maintenance of the common driveway are equally shared. Number 6, the applicant is advised to consult with the Arundel Fire Chief regarding architectural compliance of the proposed buildings and their subdivisions with NFPA 101 and other related public safety ordinances. All deeds for the property shall contain a specific reference to observance of the no-cut vegetation and landscape plan delineated on the record site plan dated August 8, 2019. No certificate of occupancy shall be issued until the code enforcement officer receives a certification from the design engineer that all improvements have been completed in accordance with the approved plan. So approved by the Arundel Planning Board this 22nd day of August 2019. Need a motion?
So moved.
The motion has been made and seconded to approve Morocco Enterprises project. Is there any discussion?
Just,
I have, go ahead.
you sure?
Yep, go ahead.
Go ahead, just a quick question to make sure that, conditions of approval 4 and 5 are, you know, acceptable to the applicant.
Yes, as far as the conveyance of the
Yeah.
1 extra parking,
Just-
which
just
is no problem
Get
at
the
all.
easements
That's correct,
now and
right?
instead of at the time of a.
Yeah, the
of a-
maintenance agreement absolutely can be, that's no
I
issue
just,
at all.
you know, I know it was sprung on you
My
tonight.
question is of the surety bond, how is that, how is that planned? That's not in cash, that's in a.
You had 3 options. One is a tri-party agreement where you have the money in the bank, and the bank can't release it until they get signed off from us.
Yep,
And here.
The second one would be a performance bond.
yep,
Third would be a letter of credit.
okay.
And 4th would be cash, but.
Yeah.
Fourth would be cash, but I don't even mention.
We love cash.
Yeah, yeah,
I know, actually, my treasurer hates cash.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She has
I'm
to
sure
do
she does.
1099s on them.
She glowers at me when I get cash, so. So you get to pick. I'll take any of those. I tried party agreement format, so that.
Okay.
Right.
So
Your
Jens,
confusion
yes.
about this on paragraph 5, paragraph 5, I'm just missing, I think, the word each. So we have a 5,000 square foot commercial building on each of the lots. It's correctly stated in the therefore it be resolved provision,
Yeah, good if they were similar.
Yeah,
because it's, I don't read that as two distinct 5,000 square foot buildings.
yeah, the way it's written, it doesn't read that way, right?
How do you want to amend it?
The applicant proposes to construct 5,000 square foot commercial buildings with 4 leasable spaces on each of the 2 lots, with a total of 20 associated parking spaces.
I would think I would put in the on each language right after the commercial building, on each
We already.
of the lots. Paragraph 5,
The first,
in the findings of fact, line 1. I think we want to put in,
Okay,
Here.
now you got me. Oh, okay.
right after the word building, I think we want to put in on each of the 2 lots.
I think grammatically it should go after with 4 leasable spaces.
I think it should, yeah.
Well, are there leasable spaces on both lots?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
4
Yeah.
in each building.
Right.
So that on the one with only 7, 4 of those are going to be leasable by the other? Then that would leave them not enough for them, right?
No,
So
each building has four spaces in it.
Okay.
Each lot has a
Now, he
5,000
may-
square foot building.
he may
with
lease
4
one
leasable
back to
spaces.
himself.
Oh, okay, I understood it to mean leasable by the other lot.
No.
But it's
No,
just
no, no,
simply
no.
leasable
Total.
to pertain to the units that are available.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Technically,
understand.
this is a subdivision as well,
Yeah,
but we're
Okay.
gonna whack them for that.
yeah, so I think, I agree with Jamie, I think it should go after 4 leasable spaces on each of the 2 lots.
Then we have to amend whoever approved the motion that this went forward.
yes.
You have to go backwards.
I
We
moved to,
realize that, but let's get the wording first happy before we come backwards.
Right.
Well, could we,
Happy guy.
could we just copy what's in the third whereas, top of the page? To construct a 5,000 square foot commercial building with 4 leasable spaces each.
On the 2 approved subdivision lots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you want that in 5?
yeah, that should be, that first sentence in 5.
Okay. This will go there. Is that the only place you want that, or do you want it somewhere else?
No,
that
This-
should be
the-
the
one.
At the last page, therefore, be resolved, that paragraph, the same thing, or is that already correct?
It's already corrected because it says on 2 approved subdivision
Yeah.
lots.
Okay.
it says each on 2. Okay, I suppose that's all right. You read it on each of 2.
I didn't read it.
Oh, no. I
Rich
don't.
read it that way, which is more understandable, I think, the way you read it.
On each of 2, We'll keep them all consistent.
Okay, now we can
So-
backtrack.
Okay,
I'll amend
You
the
amend your
motion
motion?
to include that edit.
okay, thank you. Is there a second to the
I'll
amendment?
second.
Well, who seconded it?
Tom did. No, Tom made the motion,
Tom made
Roger
Right,
seconded
I
it
seconded it.
originally.
Roger will second it.
One second.
Okay.
It's a
Any other
sequence.
discussion? Hearing none, those in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Spray that lot,
I
in
will.
case we have to go back, especially for Roger and me.
If I have to go back, it will be in December.
So to add,
We legalized
these are
that,
all
I
around
am
these
so.
signatures.
I
I
still
know,
itch.
I know. I'm scratching just thinking about it.
Oh, yeah,
So instead
okay,
of trying to, those are the signs that you want.
okay.
All right, we'll do that after the meeting, pick it up tomorrow. All right. I'll make the amendment to the findings of fact too, and get sent it back to them, I'll give you an attested version, and then these guys will send it.
Item number 2, Pitchfork subdivision, amendment of a major subdivision plan, a proposed amendment to an approved subdivision of multifamily units where the applicant proposes to subdivide off a net 2-acre parcel in lieu of constructing an approved duplex located at 132 Log Cabin Road, tax map 38, lot 18A in the R3 district. Barry Pitchfork is the applicant and owner, and Stephen Doe RLS of Sebago Technics Inc. is the applicant's agent. I gotta write that down, right?
Yeah.
He did. I'll never see you again, but I gotta write it on the
No,
left.
you'll see me.
Oh, you-
You'll see me.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll see. Several times.
Okay. Does the board have any questions for the applicant?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
The fire chief went out and said everything is kosher.
Yeah, he just wants you to move your wood pile.
Yeah, I moved it.
You already did that? Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't, I figured you would, so I didn't even put in the findings of fact. Well, I did, but I didn't put it as a condition of approval, I figured. Pretty good with that. It's a short one, it's an amendment.
You all set to go?
Ready?
This will be shorter.
Findings of fact and approval motion amendment to the record plan Pitchfork subdivision, August 22nd, 2019. Whereas on February 24th, 2005, the planning board granted a major subdivision permit to Barry and Judith Pitchfork on an 11.97 acre parcel to develop a 4-unit apartment complex and a duplex, in addition to the existing single-family residential unit and a telecommunications tower, all serviced by a private way named Pitchfork Lane, located at 132 Log Cabin Road, tax map 38, lot 18, in the R2 district. Whereas on June 14th, 2007, the planning board granted the same applicants an amendment to the 2005 approval to delete their residence from the subdivision project. Whereas on May 23rd, 2019, the planning board reviewed a pre-application from Barry and Judith Pitchfork to amend their 2000 subdivision approval in order to delete the approved duplex at the front of the property in lieu of dividing a 2.72 acre single-family lot serviced by the existing Pitchfork Drive. Whereas on July 11th, 2019, the Arundel Planning Board conducted a site walk of the proposed revision. Whereas on August 8th, the planning board received an amendment to a major subdivision plan consisting of 4 multifamily units and the division of a net 2-acre parcel in lieu of constructing an approved duplex located at 132 Log Cabin Road, tax map 38, lot 18A, in the R3 district. Whereas on August 22nd, 2019, the planning board held a public hearing. Whereupon the Arundel Planning Board reviewed and given due consideration of the applicant's amended application and has arrived at the following findings of fact. Number 1, Barry Pitchfork is the applicant and owner of the property. Number 2, the proposed lot 3 meets all the dimensional requirements of the R3 district. Number 4, a wetlands analysis prepared by Sebago Technics demonstrates that the proposed division meets the net residential density for the entire existing subdivision. Number 4, the applicant has submitted an HHE 200 demonstrating that adequate soils are available on the proposed lot 3 to accommodate a single-family home with an on-site well. Number 5, Pitchfork Drive meets the minimum construction standards for a private way according to section 2 of the Arundel Street Design and Construction Ordinance. Number 6, the Arundel Fire Chief has determined that the existing fire pond and hydrant are functioning well and requests that a wood pile be removed that hinders maneuvering of fire apparatus to the dry hydrant. Number 7, the applicant meets all setback requirements from the identified shoreland zones on or adjacent to the property. Number 8, the proposal will result in net reduction in total residential density on the property. Number 9, a revised record subdivision plan has been prepared of the Pitchfork subdivision showing the proposed amendments prepared by Sebago Technics Incorporated and dated July 23rd, 2019, with revisions to August 7th, 2019. Therefore, be it resolved that based on the above findings and conclusions, the Arundel Planning Board hereby approves the amendment to the Pitchfork subdivision for the elimination of the approved duplex and the creation of a 2.72 acre single-family lot located on Pitchforth Drive at 132 Log Cabin Road, tax map 38, lot 18A in the R3 district, subject to the following conditions. Number one, the revised subdivision plat must be recorded in the New York County Registry of Deeds within 90 days of the date upon which the plan is approved and signed by the board. Otherwise, it shall become null and void. A copy of the recorded subdivision plat shall be submitted to the planning department. Number two, no changes, erasures, modifications, or revisions will be made in any final plan after approval has been given by the board and endorsed in writing on the plan unless the revised final plan is first submitted and the board approves any modification. So approved by the Arundel Planning Board this 22nd day of August 2019.
Yay.
Motion's been made, is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for approval, is there any discussion by the board? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It is unanimous.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I have your Mylar, right?
I got it over here.
Okay.
Well, I'll sign it and you can pick it up.
Yeah, okay.
Item number 3 appears to just be a footnote.
You can pick up your Statler
You
too.
should have American Iron and Metal. They did submit a letter requesting a 60-day submission, and we're still waiting for the closure strategy and for the bond on that. I'm assuming that
Thanks,
nobody
guys.
else is here
Thank you.
Thank you.
to talk to them.
Nobody has
What
arrived,
do
I
you mean by
believe.
closure strategy?
They have to give us a plan and a bond related to the closure of the facility if they ever shut it down. And
Okay.
They haven't done so. That was
They're
part
not-
of the original.
They don't have plans to close it?
No.
Okay,
No,
that's what I
that's-
was
it's
wondering, if
just-
things had,
If they
But
walk
if in the
away,
event.
Yeah,
they
right.
walk away,
No, I get it.
we have some
I get it.
recourse to close
yes,
this.
I wasn't sure if I had missed
Guidelines.
something.
And it was asked for on the original plans.
Yep,
It's just never been turned in.
Well, it was deferred till the next time they renewed, but they didn't renew it.
Well, yeah, they're fixing it now.
By the way, that the engineer, John, Baczynski, who you probably remember was the engineer in charge of this thing, he was in charge of that, but he's moved on, he is no longer working for CES, and there's a change in the project manager for AIM on this. John's gone on to Auburn, so. Musical chairs.
Item number 4 is Oak Ridge Terrace, the preliminary subdivision application. And as you can see from the footnotes, no additional information has been provided yet.
Yeah, they were put on the agenda, as you'll recall, we set the agenda Friday after, and they had till Monday or Tuesday to bring something in, they did not.
so, question on that real quick before we move on. Was the significant vernal pool that Michael Neto supplied, was that on his property?
It was on both properties,
So it
right on the
overlapped
property line, so
the
it
property.
affects, this could affect lot 2.
Okay, so it wasn't solely on,
No, it wasn't
Yes.
sold.
okay.
There was a misunderstanding of that, I sent that information, I think you folks have that information.
Yeah.
And, I also sent it to, Jason, cause I thought he had it, he did not have it. So, yeah, it wasn't shared, so the engineers are dealing with that issue. They have several issues, that were raised at the last meeting regarding, lot 1, the fact that lot 2 really should be a cluster. And the other issue, of course, was there were several issues, but another big one was this vernal pool. And I don't think it's gonna qualify for, an Army Corps significant wetland, a significant vernal pool, I think it's gonna be just a DEP one. So it's gonna be about a 250-foot setback, with a famous 25%.
Well, yeah, limited disturbance setback.
Limited disturbance.
I thought they had that though. He said it was like 300 feet
Yeah.
from the vernal pool.
Well, if he was looking in the wrong direction, he was looking to the north. This actually pulls it into the east. There's a vernal pool, there may be a vernal pool down in the bottom of that wetland gully, but there is one right on the border between lot 2 and the native property, so it was very close. So he was swinging the arc the wrong direction. actually swung to the east.
And we didn't get the other documentation that he said he was gonna provide to the town attorney.
Yeah, I never got anything. I haven't got, I think, I don't know if there is any documentation, quite frankly, because I don't know where the 40, I wasn't there at that meeting, so I don't know what that 40-acre provision was, but the town of Arundel has not adopted the 40-acre provision.
Right.
There used to be a time when if you did a lot of 40 acres, it was automatically exempt from subdivision
Right.
law, but that was rather abused in the northern Maine, so they made it so you had to opt in. So the local municipality has to agree that that's an exemption, and the town of Arundel's
Well,
not.
he intimated that he had an opinion letter from his attorney that all he needed to do was to provide it, so,
No.
it hasn't been
Well,
provided
as-
yet.
Agree.
No, and I've read it, I've looked at the subdivision and the state statute and had the same interpretation, so.
I don't think it's relevant to this subdivision, and I think they're making some modifications.
Well, ultimately, he'll have to, one of the lots he was looking to keep out of the subdivision, he's gonna have to bring into the approved subdivision plan.
Lot two.
And he
Or proposed
intimated that he was willing to do that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a choice, and I don't think he knows he has a choice.
Right.
So, because that's the law.
Alright,
Okay.
Next,
Well, now we're really.
Everybody ready?
Yes, now, we're almost there.
Specially designed stables, a major conditional use application, determination of completeness. Proposal to establish a commercial equestrian center serving 16+ equines in conformance with land use ordinance section 9.3.19.2 on 43 acres of land, tax map 21 lot 1, located at 30 Equestrian Way in the R4 district. Specially Designed Stables LLC is the owner, the applicant is Amanda Boutet, and the applicant's agent is Tom Cludio.
That's us.
That's you,
Yes.
you're up.
This is when you make your presentation.
So I don't really have a presentation. Submitted an application.
Yes, you do.
If you guys remember us, some of you, when we purchased the land here in Arundel 5 years ago, there was actually nothing in the land use ordinance that even said anybody could have horses or generate any income from horses at all. There's a lot of people in this town that do that. We are one of them that want to do that, and be in, compliance and be considered a commercial entity. So I skipped the pre-app, and the reason why, I forget the term you use, but we don't have any intention of, building any other buildings or making any major modifications to what is already there. We live on this property, and there are horses there. What we want to change is to be in compliance with the relatively newly adopted equestrian center land use ordinance.
So can I just ask you, for my own edification, what are you gonna be giving lessons and boarding other people's horses and
Yes,
providing those kinds of services, having mini horse shows or
sure,
all
all of that.
of that?
And right now, it's like, we're kind of at a place where I think we went above and beyond to make sure that we would, with the road and the drainage and how we deal with the manure and our fencing and our light, all this stuff, we tried to get ahead of the game, knowing that there was nothing in there that said we could operate a commercial equestrian center at the time, which seemed kind of crazy considering
Where it is.
where it is and how many people are already doing that. So we feel strongly that we'd love to have you guys come see it and
Where is the facility, where is the Equestrian Way?
it's right off of the Thompson Road.
Off of 111.
So Thompson Road's off of 111, connects to Perkins Lane. It's a private way, so it's very secluded. You can't see it from the road at all.
On which end is it? Is it on the,
kind of right in the middle.
In the middle.
It's almost smack dab in the middle from 111 and Perkins.
It's just before the fire pond, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
So you've got 43 acres?
Yes.
Nice.
The applicant has asked for a large number of waivers, because the conditions are existing. And this is unusual for this planning board, because we always deal with things that aren't built, but this has been built. And so, staff recommends that we do a site walk and go out and take a look at it and see if there's any additional information besides the existing plan that they submitted and the program they've submitted, that the board feels would be necessary, so we can make a determination of what additional information they have to provide, or whether or not the application is complete.
I think
So
we
there was
should
nothing
go
to apply for, there was no permit to apply for 5 years ago, which I think we all thought was something that needed to be addressed, so we went around to a lot of other individuals that already are doing this in the town to try to lobby for putting something in there, so that not just us, but everybody that wants to board horses and generate any income, whether they're trying to make a living or doing it as a hobby or whatever, is in compliance and can.
Mr. Chair, if I could, I just wanna thank you for being the pilot on this, because, this will be our first time, so I think, hopefully, we'll be learning.
And what I told
As
Tad
much
was
as
like,
you will.
I have loads of information, but like, if it was 5 years ago and we could have done it the way you guys normally operate, then we would have done it that way, but everything's already there. So, I wanted to give you guys as much information as you need, but it's not, we're not building homes or crazy, commercial use, it's a horse farm.
Well, if
How long
you'll
is it?
remember, this is the facility that we crafted the ordinance around, because they couldn't do anything.
Right.
So we ended up writing
Right.
it. So
So, if there is any additional information you guys would like to see about, the engineering for the building or the road or any of that stuff, it's all available. I just didn't wanna give you all a stack of
As big as
information
that
that,
thing.
we
Well, I
had,
think once we go out and see it too, I
Once
think
we
that's
do
gonna
the
tell us a
sidewalk.
lot.
yeah.
What was there when you started?
Nothing.
Just
Woods.
raw land?
Woods and all of Matthew Pitts' trash that we got rid of. And
Matthew,
I think you'll be very
Pitts.
pleased with
Oh,
what
is that-
what is there now.
That's where the
You
hog
remember
farm
the
is today.
sidewalk out there before, don't you, Marty?
That's
Because we
where
went
you
out
have-
there when we did a walk.
We get stuff from.
I'm trying to remember.
wasn't the hog farm on the other
Was it-
side of the road?
tell me how
down
long
toward
ago.
Arthur.
Oh,
I-
good grief.
I mean-
It was way back when they first wanted to set this whole thing up. And we came out, we did the sidewalk because of the road and the things that were going out there.
Okay, yeah, then, yes, I was there. Okay, the only thing I might ask along the way, before a site walk or anything else, something on paper, a drawing, to give us some kind of guidelines, and,
So I did include a
Very last
drawing
page,
for
Marty.
everybody.
oh, in here, okay. I didn't know, I'm playing by listening here, by not following here,
I got a whole,
okay? No, thank you, I mean,
um,
Are you gonna be extending the driveway, is that what that's showing, or should it start?
Equestrian Road, Equestrian
no,
Way
so
was
the
approved.
equestrian way was approved to, so the private
Yeah,
way
that's
is
that.
approved right here.
Okay,
This, was extended as a driveway, it says like a
so
service.
it's already there,
It's a service road that's already there.
alright,
So that
really-
wasn't part of the original
This is,
site plan that Jason had approved,
Okay.
and, I just wanted to keep it simple,
So
so
all
I
of this
just,
is here.
What everything is.
drew in there what exists, because all the fencing and stuff wasn't, Jason didn't put that on the original survey.
Okay.
What's gonna be sort of the extent of your operation, solely boarding, lessons, that type
Functions.
of things? Or is that known at this point?
Boarding lessons,
any functions.
functions as in like horse shows.
Birthday parties.
Well, not necessarily birthday parties so much, I'm saying functions, meaning like,
horse shows.
Horse shows.
okay, horse shows or
Dressage competitions.
Did you guys,
competitions.
Well,
did
parking.
you guys go to the one out on
That's,
Route 5 and,
Yeah, we go to Hollis.
is it Hollis?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I drive by it every Sunday and it's like, oh, I'm watching that movie.
Yeah, so that's what, I mean, we have a lot of interest to basically do what they're doing. Like, we couldn't do any big shows because we don't have the infrastructure. You have to have bathrooms and you have to have, you know, places for people to keep their horses and stuff, but certainly single day shows or,
Or special lessons or,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so the next meeting is on the 12th of September.
Make a motion to do sidewalk before the meeting on the 12th of September.
I think you need more than a half an hour of time to do this.
So
This is a big
it's
piece
a
of
big,
property. It's a
big
big piece of
facility, so
property.
we should probably look at about 5:30.
Yeah, because the sunset now is 7:30, so.
Yeah,
Yeah. 5:30.
Bring some bug spray.
Ah,
I got some deep.
Did you get some from those guys who just left?
Oh, we should have.
they're
We
reporting
got
that.
some mosquitoes.
Those were Apache helicopters.
You wanna
They
make
had
that a
that.
motion, Roger?
I did.
Oh, okay, we have a motion for a site walk September 12th at 5:30,
I'll second that.
and it's been seconded. Any discussion?
Oh, September 12th, that's November.
Other
Does that work
discussion?
for you guys?
Let me look.
Yep.
Sounds
Hold on,
good.
hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna be teaching till 6, so you'll have to do it.
Yeah, okay. I get out, yeah, that's fine, 5:30.
So we're on the 12th?
Well,
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous.
alright,
Thank you.
thank you
All
guys.
right,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much.
Thanks.
I apologize, I didn't open this
That's
up,
okay.
but I only saw Pittsburgh, I didn't see this other one sitting, hiding.
I know, I was.
Read the meeting, I'm sure the last one that I missed was long, but the one before it was like,
Yeah, I got the plans.
Yeah.
You missed it, right? You
Yeah,
missed
I'll
the good
recycle
one
that.
in the, fire department.
Okay,
oh, yeah?
other business.
I got somebody, didn't we not, Roger?
Tell me about it in a little while.
So there's two things on other business. One of them, the selectmen have said that we have to put everything, because, on the website related, so all of our packets and information, with the exception of the maps, all of the packets and the other stuff are now gonna be placed out on the website.
Question,
Yes.
what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
They're gonna do it too. But I
They
don't
say
have,
they're gonna do it.
They don't have anyone near the volume of stuff.
I was gonna say, is that realistic given the volume
Yeah.
of documentation you guys go through?
Who's responsible for the format?
And how long does it stay on the website? Does it get, when does it get
gonna
scrubbed?
be taken down.
And does Tad get an assistant to,
No.
scan and upload all
Well,
this stuff?
No, he's not gonna be
Yeah.
scanning it. One of the things that he's going to do is say to the applicant, you
Yeah.
must give me everything in a single PDF file. Multiple PDF files will not work because he'll have to spend all of his time uploading. So they're gonna have to give him one PDF
One
file that has
zip
the
file.
entire everything in it.
With PDF technology, that
not hard.
should be very easy to do for engineering
It
firms.
should be.
But what do you do about things like
Yeah.
the waiver request? I mean, that's
Scan it in.
They can
Scan
scan
it
the
in
whole
and make a
thing in.
PDF of it.
When it comes to the maps, they're gonna have to provide us copies of the maps, which becomes a discussion in terms of whether, do we want the big maps, do we want 11x17s, do we want maps at all?
But ultimately, you print it to a PDF and it's there as a document that you zoom into and
Right,
pan around and,
on the computer, yes,
Right.
you're absolutely correct.
now if somebody wants to print it, that's all up to them.
That's all on them.
Right,
That's all on them. The question becomes, what are we going to do? They want us to take it in PDF format as well.
okay, we can imagine it in our heads while we're here at a meeting,
Everybody gets issued with a laptop.
or we
With the
memorize it.
format?
We memorize it?
Talk to
Yeah.
the manager about that, about getting it a laptop or a big tablet.
Big tablet.
Big tablet for the planning board, that would be the town's property, but you would get that.
So I would, as somebody that is used to looking at plans, I am used to looking at plans, not looking at an image and scrolling around. It's very beneficial to see the big picture.
I agree.
And
I agree,
I mean, I don't have any, I mean, there's been a lot of discussion and I haven't been very vocal, but really don't have much heartburn about making an applicant or requesting an applicant to provide things in PDF, because I think, I mean, the last application's a little bit of an anomaly, where they're sort of doing things by hand and then would have to scan it, and maybe a little more of an inconvenience for them. I would imagine most of our engineering professionals and attorney professionals that come through here have a huge ability to provide things in PDF, and that won't be that much of an inconvenience to them.
And it seems to me that coupling that with production of paper plans for us, for those of us who
Yeah.
like that, plans only.
I agree, because they're still gonna have to have them give us the plans. They put, I don't care, put the whole
That's
application
that's
online,
$20
but give-
for a copy of each of those for the board members.
Yep.
$20.
And I wonder if you, the problem with the reduced versions, well, you can't
You
scale.
can't see 'em.
You can't scale,
Right.
you can't see them.
But you're gonna have hard copies in your office.
Oh, I get hard,
So if
I get
people,
full copies. I don't
so
want the small
people
stuff. I
want,
the
do you
real-
want
the real
people, if they
stuff.
have questions, to be able to come in and see the hard copy? Do you wanna be
Well, the whole
bothered with
objective,
that?
see, one of the things about this is that people, this is supposed to reduce the amount of people that come in and see me. I have my doubts about that.
So if 8 copies were produced, one for each of the board members and one for staff, that's
Yeah,
just a
then-
part of the requirements for submission, for plans only, and the rest of it PDF.
Yep, we could do that, although I like having a hard, I would need one hard copy in the files, because my files are hard copy,
Mhm.
and all of my documents have to be hard copy.
Right.
Because the appraisers and the attorneys come in and look at the files.
Yep.
They still wanna see paper.
Yeah, so we can tell them that they have to give you a paper copy of the
One.
file.
But-
One paper copy.
So I just have a quick question, because early on in my tenure on this board, there was a lot of pushback about making things digitally available. I think we were discussing ways to make life easier for you. And people felt that, the town is not technologically savvy, and it was a hardship to put this burden. I mean, I think we have to move forward and start doing this kind of stuff. But, there's sort of a split or a dichotomy between the old guard who wants everything to be mailed and to be paper and look at it, and those of us that feel that it's not efficient, and only those that are particularly interested should come to your office and see the hard copies. The rest, the majority of the people should be able to, formulate their questions and opinions based upon the PDFs, I think. Don't you, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, I think if the PDFs are available online, then that suffices, probably will suffice for, the bulk of anybody that's interested in a project. I think you'll get some hardcore neighbors or interested parties that may wanna come in and look at them still. But and I don't have any issue with scrolling through, a letter or report on, online. But I think looking at the big picture of a plan is tough on a PDF.
I have I was thinking about this for some time. I don't know whether you guys have been saving all our files that we end up getting issued from Tad,
No,
but
I keep
No?
them for
I
a
do.
while. but,
I got a while, but guess
I
what?
have them all too,
Me
and it's
too.
getting to be like,
Yeah.
No,
It's impressive,
I have a
Yeah.
big
Yes,
plastic
it was.
container filled.
yeah,
it's a big burden.
I've kept them, well, like Pitchfork, I'll probably have this one for about a year.
Yeah, that's
Enough time to go through any appeal or anything else that may go on, and then I toss them out.
you do, okay.
Yeah, what am I gonna keep them for?
Yeah, I've already gotta keep other records for 8 years, and that's,
Yes,
all I need is,
I only have to keep them for 3,
what do you think that my blue car was my portable office?
but,
I
But
found
remember
stuff in
one
there
instance we were
2007.
looking for documents, remember, I forget what the application was.
That's not even planning board stuff.
No,
But we
That's
went
mostly
back
planning
and
board
looked through
stuff.
our files to see if we could
I'm
find
serious.
copies of the letter.
How many
or,
times have I
you know,
gone out to the
something.
car and pulled something out?
So,
I
yeah,
don't
I,
think he was
I
one of the
hung on to
responsible
everything.
for keeping records. I think I'm the one who's responsible for keeping records,
okay.
okay?
But
If you have any notes and so forth that you jot during the meeting, that should be part of my record.
I don't
Because as you
have-
know, an attorney can ask for a planning board member's notes that they use in deliberations.
So do you think that this move is perhaps a way to move the town onto its website and making that more the tool than all these mailings and all these, you know, printed collateral and other materials that we spend a ton of money on?
I don't know. This has come from Dan DuBois, who used to be a planning board member. He's talked to, apparently, Kennebunk does it.
Yeah, well, they have more resources, number one, and number two, the town wasn't growing at the rate when Dan was on the plan board, like it is now. And this is gonna become impossible for you, if the trajectory of work on staff's part, continues.
That's something the manager's gonna have to deal with, because the manager would have to be ultimately responsible for implementation of this. And how those resources are allocated in order to accomplish this mission. And right now, I think it's in the exploratory stage, I'm not sure the selectmen have voted on this, they've just discussed it, and I think the manager has to come up with a plan.
And how do we codify it? You just gonna start telling people?
Rulemaking, it would be, yeah, it's rulemaking, it would be, I would modify the application process, and we probably have to modify it in the ordinance as well. Because we do have ordinance stuff on which you have to include in the application, and we probably would put something, it has to be one copy we don't have to say it has to be one copy in paper and one copy in PDF, and the rest in PDF,
Well,
it would be on the application format, just like we have our rules, you have to submit 14 days in advance, that's not in the ordinance, it's in our rules that we have under our,
It's in our procedures.
it's in our procedures.
They
And
still
that's
gonna be
something you guys would
following
approve.
those rules, they still gonna be making 10 copies of each if we're gonna have, a little tablet?
No, they wouldn't have to.
No.
Until we get tablets, they would have to. Could save some expense by
Saves
It would,
paper.
paper.
it would save a
Well,
and
lot
time.
of,
It's also wear and tear on you, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Watch this
like,
time.
I mean,
Time.
it's so much, it's,
Could be a
it's,
lot easier.
it's busy work, really. It's a
Sure.
waste of time,
Through the chair.
of your time.
you know,
If this is the idea
Secretary.
they want, okay, we need now, quote unquote, to have it ready before town meeting, because if it's gonna be changed, it has to be approved and voted on, because if we have to change stuff around, this will make the selectmen make their decision earlier and everything else, because we cannot wait until February, March, or anything else along the way for last minute, as we were told by the selectmen, they wanted everything early before town meeting or whatever else not. So I
well,
suggest,
from our perspective, the only change, there's only a little bit in the ordinance that we would have to change. Everything else is
or add
procedures.
two, if we have to turn around and make a new submission form,
Mhm.
or regulations or anything of that.
Yeah,
But I'm
that's the-
suggesting now that we get that in place, and also too, at the same time, they may want to consider the comprehensive plan getting into place of the paperwork also, so that we aren't turning around playing old school, new school, two different games on two different situations.
That's
So,
all.
what needs to go to town meeting? Is it just?
Changes in the wording and the
If
composition.
there's
Procedure?
anything, if there's anything that spells out how applications need to be delivered,
that.
To
date,
the
time,
town.
process.
That needs to be consistent.
Most of it can be done through your rules and procedures.
And that's just without going to vote.
So whatever that happens, that change, the timing of implementing that change and the town's capacity and staff's capacity to absorb and react to that change has gotta be correctly dovetailed, I think.
That's why I'm mentioning it now.
And it's a good point, Marty, but again, I think it's something that, frankly speaking, I think the manager is gonna have to take the lead, cause he's my boss. Technically, he's your boss too.
He's
You know,
gonna
he's
have
gotta-
to,
He's gotta come up with a strategy for doing this.
You know, I think,
yeah, he's gonna have to lead the selectmen and say, okay, if we're going down this road, this is the roadmap of how you're gonna get there. And don't wait until the middle of May to decide you wanna put it on the agenda.
That's why I'm saying it now.
it also has on the back end, there's a lot of tech support. There has to be file servers dedicated to, well, there's gonna be a lot of
It's a
documents.
lot of data.
And to have access on the web, there's a lot of security issues.
I'm not sure, the security issue is definitely gonna be there, but in terms of the amount of data, I'm not sure it's gonna be that great. PDFs don't take up a lot.
And
Okay,
it'll be
But I have a
deleting
lot
it
of
when
different
it's done.
documents, not, maybe not the
Sure.
size, but
My
the
file.
volume of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
cause I'm thinking from a size point of view,
So, who's gonna organize how they're.
but that's a whole other issue.
Yeah.
Well,
so
That's where the staff
Right
comes
now-
in.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
so
what I'm
that- I
saying,
think
I
that's what
mean,
we tab
how
again?
much can he, how many busy
Right.
tasks can he
Yeah.
This is where staff comes in and the town planner needs to have an assistant to do all of this stuff.
Well, here's the town manager.
Well, so shouldn't some of these things
I
be
like the way you think,
decided
Marty.
before we
Has to be
even
done.
bring it to town meeting?
Oh, absolutely.
Shouldn't
No,
we be
I
able
think
to
Yeah, those things
implement?
have
this
to be
is
all
a,
figured
this
out.
is this is an informational item,
This is what the.
so that you
planning
know,
board are looking at.
this is what the selectmen are
Selectmen
looking at doing it,
Mhm.
and that you know what's coming, and if you have suggestions or input, that you should start thinking about and making those suggestions to the manager.
That's why it's phrased as Dan's recommendation.
Right.
He's just getting the ball rolling.
It's getting the
Yeah.
ball.
Okay,
My
the
guess
other
is
thing,
that-
the other
I found-
thing is, simply, the fact is, if we're going to go tablets, okay? One thing they gotta do, or for anybody, they have to set up an email, not our personal email,
Right.
to that tablet, so that it will be dedicated to that, because once that tablet is ever turned in, the email address can be changed or whatever else now. Okay, because this is all town property.
Yep.
But nothing involving any of our own personal emails, because it can overlap or whatever else now. Another point.
Yeah, that's a good point, Marty, and what
It's
you
just
put
a
on
thought
that
I'm
tablet could be admissible in a court of law if we were to get into, some sort of appeal on your decision. An attorney might want to see that information, no differently than when I get a FOIA request for all my emails concerning a certain
Right,
project. And
all
that's
those
happened many
emails.
times before.
Yeah.
Because we also
You mean I
had
can't
that,
put solitary on?
No solitary.
No solitary.
If you remember, I
So
wanna say
Windows
about a
3.1,
year.
Rich.
Windows, I'm still using BASIC. If you remember about a year
We're
ago,
perfect, right?
there was, there was a discussion about doing something along those lines, and I had brought my tablet in, and one of the selectmen, who shall remain nameless but is an attorney, got really upset because they felt that people should be able to see my face and who I am. But he never said a word about it. Last Monday night, Dan brought it up. Dan brings his laptop, throws it up, does all of his work. Evidently, it's times have changed, and
but
he's.
he probably got it from work.
I don't disagree with him on that, cause we'll all be, just looking at our screens. Like going to the doctor, and they spend more time on the screen than with that. That will happen.
That's true.
Unfortunately, it might.
Well, the new town hall's gonna be digitally, more equipped to,
So we all work from one screen.
we'll all be working
We'll
from
all
big
have a
screens,
whiteboard.
right?
Well,
I don't know if that's in there, right, we're gonna have a solar array.
well, what about you, work of,
Oh, I thought that was the whole thing Linda Zook was bringing up, and
Well,
we
the
wanted
question is
to
gonna.
spend the money prior to the.
Yeah, I
town hall
don't know
meeting.
what that is, I'm not party to that technological menu that they're putting together.
anyway,
I think it'd be good if the planning board were to put some input, give some input and say, yeah, we need this kind of information that would be available. I mean, I know that the ability to project maps, the ability to project diagrams and information up is absolutely critical. We did that during the comp planning process early on, if you remember, in the old building, we did that on a regular basis when we did the comp planning. And,
We're not gonna talk about it.
No, we're gonna talk about it. The last item on there,
One more.
this thing from Donna DeKindred,
Yeah.
I don't think any of us have it.
I didn't get it.
Yeah,
Let's send it. Did you get it?
oh, by email?
Oh, if you sent it by email, I haven't looked at my email.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Is it long your fault?
I haven't looked at the email.
That sounds like we're all in the same boat.
Well,
We rely on these,
So
these
can
paper
we
packets.
postpone it till the next meeting and we
Yeah,
have a
it
chance
was
to look at
basically,
it?
if you recall, Donna was talking about, putting together packets, sort of like user packets on how to apply for applications in various districts and what parts of the ordinance you needed to look at if you were in that district.
Well, this came out of the whole R1 comp plan.
Yeah, it was the,
And we were,
and she
we
did
were
one for the R1, but it's not it was an outline, it wasn't
well,
really,
we were supposed to get together at some point after Labor Day and start working on that so that we could do it for all of the different, so she just jumped the gun a little bit.
But I think that guide, that didn't come in as an attachment, I didn't get it.
I will go back and look, I mean, we've been, I'll tell you honestly, we've been having some technical issues with things at town hall, with emails, with the telephones.
Well,
We
the
didn't have any
storm,
telephones
the storm
yesterday.
the other night wreaked havoc on a lot of,
Oh, did it?
yeah, it did.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so, I apologize for that, I thought everybody got that, but I was wrong. So I will resend that, and we'll reschedule that for you to take a look at. I do have one other thing that just came up. A petition was submitted to the, town clerk, I guess, on yesterday, an amendment to the pet daycare regulations,
Okay, I'm glad to hear that, because I'm now gonna go challenge the entire process.
okay?
She
And
never gave it to the town before she collected signatures.
And, so consequently, it's being examined,
By town's council, or staff.
by staff. And it is not this staff, it's the town clerk's responsibility. She is looking at it right now. And, it's a lot of signatures, so I think it would meet the 10%. But the issue there is, I asked the same question because the question had pasted on every one, it looked like it may not have been the original, I don't know. I don't know what's there, but the essence of it is essentially that they're looking to eliminate section K, which is requirement that dogs not be individually caged, and that you don't have to have potable water on site. Or you don't have to have potable water in the building, and you don't have to have a place attended if somebody needs to use the next building to go to that. I will say that there was no reference to the guidelines for which all this information comes out. It still says that you have to comply with the guidelines that are established by the veterinarians, the Shelter Veterinarians Association.
It does keep
Which-
that?
Yeah, it doesn't eliminate
So
that,
that's
that
a
says the same thing as K
contract,
does in
contract,
the
yeah.
water, so I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there was any assistance, sought in changing the ordinance to eliminate that.
Should we be even kicking this around?
Nope, it shouldn't be, I'm just advising you that
That's out there.
that petition's there, and what will happen is that, once that petition is certified, assuming it is certified by the town clerk, that it meets all the requirements, then we must go through the process. The planning board will be required to hold a public hearing within a reasonable, very reasonable timeframe. And then, it goes to a special town meeting.
Question, first of all, is there not a time element for a petition? Turn out,
There's a
20
time element
days.
for us to respond, yes.
No, a time element for a petition to be started and issued. It doesn't mean the petition can hang out there to get signatures for a year. Usually, it's like for nomination papers or anything else, usually you have a window of 30 days, and then it has to be submitted.
I don't know, Mark.
I'm throwing out as
I
a
know it
question.
does for a citizen's petition at the state level. I know that is in fact the case. I don't know about it at the town level. Our ordinance does not say that.
Well, perhaps we should, going forward, include something like that. But if she didn't have a description of the changes that she was proposing, that people were signing off on, doesn't that actually tell the town clerk that the effort that was put forth isn't worthy of being considered even?
I
For
don't,
I doubt the
acceptance?
clerk has that discretion.
I don't know if she's got that discretion.
I mean, how do you get people to sign things just because you're standing there, but it's not written what people are signing?
I'm not in a position to be able to answer that question.
Now, okay,
I
another,
think at this point, we need to
Yeah, I
wait until
agree.
we find out
Yeah.
what's going on.
But I have
See
So
what the
let's
town
not,
clerk's
let's
I
let
have a
this
question
whole
about
thing
the
go.
process though. The last time she did this, we had no say in the matter, I don't believe it. Is there any, on this petition, is it just all or nothing?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's no, cause there'll be some pitfalls that we can see. And maybe we could work with her and make it better.
That option was discussed, all the options were discussed, and the option to work with the planning board on this was not accepted, so.
Right, it was rejected.
No, this is an obstinate refusal to accept guidance.
Well,
So-
ironically,
I was gonna ask you to make a motion to
Same
adjourn.
place it was at. She'll, if she's leaving language in there about the guidelines includes have water and space.
But that's, it's
But-
sort of
but
her
we can't-
problem,
So-
she's
so
taking
then
it
we're
on
gonna be-
herself.
it'll
But we
be just
can't
spin and
continue
circle.
talking about that.
We can't talk about this now.
We can't
She's
continue
reviewing
to talk
Advise
about
you
this.
to let it- I'm just telling you, the petition's been
Okay.
submitted.
petition example. When Bentley came back with a petition for about motorcycles
Mhm.
and parking,
Mhm.
okay? There was a time element when the petition was started and to the time it was submitted. There was, I think, a 30-day, or there was some period of time. I'm
Yeah.
using that as a guideline, if I recall correctly.
And I believe you were right, Marty, but I think at the same time that what the selectmen were looking to do at that time was put it on, it was on the November 2010 gubernatorial ballot during that election. So that was actually a ballot question during the 2010 voting.
Well, I'm just
And that's
using,
why.
I'm just using of a timeline.
Well, there is a certain amount of time that you have to get a local elections onto a ballot that's gotta be sent to the Secretary of State.
And also too, the applicant has to pay for the town meeting.
That's right. Right. The applicant's gotta pay for the
For everything.
advertisement, the town meeting, all of that, yeah.
Okay, now,
Okay,
is there any, three other things, Rich, before I go.
okay.
One, the golf course is looking pretty, the dinosaurs are
They
popping up along the way,
Awesome dinosaurs.
okay?
are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Number
must be an
two-
even bigger dinosaur coming because one of them got lost its tail.
No, that one actually stood up the other day, last Saturday it stood up, okay?
Dave Bree was sewing it on last I heard.
Huh?
Oh, God.
What was that?
I was told by Jim Stockman, who's the lighting designer and our reviewer, that Bree was so young last time he was out there. He actually went out and did some measurements, did some, photovoltaic measurements, and, was pleased. Good. He said it's a real optical illusion, that when you look at it from the road, it doesn't look like it ascends the hill very far. You get on top of it, and you realize, you're high up.
Yeah.
You really are high up, but it's a wonderful optical illusion.
It is, isn't it?
It's just a lovely, I mean, it's really well done, and, Mr. Stockman, he doesn't rail about things, but he was saying, this is looking really good.
I hope
I'm
they're
very
really
proud of it."
successful.
Yeah.
They
They're
really
opening
worked
this
hard.
Saturday.
This
Ah,
Saturday.
Are they?
This Saturday. I've got
No
the-
way, really?
I was
Yeah.
over there.
They don't look it.
I was over there.
They don't have the
Monday
water in yet, yeah,
night. Yeah,
but that's the target, is that they
Yeah.
wanna be open before Labor Day.
Before later. Wow.
And my thing is that, you know, I've got a letter from the engineer that says all the work that he needed was done. I've got the lighting specialist saying it meets the standards, and they did exactly what I told them to do, they put in everything. The only thing is, I don't have the landscaping on it, and I'll probably we'll let them put, I don't want them to put it in the heat of the summer. So, if that's all right with the board, I'd probably say, why don't you wait till it cools down a little bit?
Yes.
And
I
then-
agree.
And then
Yes.
put it in, I'll retain
They've
money
had-
to
yes.
cover the landscaping.
They've had
They'll
enough
get their
delays.
CL.
I
and,
really, and they,
operate.
yeah, I think we should do that. I think, you know,
I do that with a lot of folks, I'll
Yeah.
let them, I'll keep money and let them put it in later on in order to ensure that it
It's just-
survives,
yeah,
right.
you know.
that shouldn't be a
Yeah,
problem.
the next thing is the fruit stand looks like,
He's
I
ready to
think
go.
they're doing a soft opening this week, aren't they?
don't know,
Yeah, they are.
Yep,
okay?
It's
You got
out
the
on the
CL.
web.
So there's both of them going.
I got the letter, I'm waiting for the letter from the engineer on the fruit stand, I think might be on my desk, I don't know, let me check. But I know I've got the other two, cause Jim Stoughton called me, he sent it to me by email, so it's gotta be there, and I've got the other engineer's letter, so I think everybody's pretty much ready to rock and roll.
That's gonna be a nice addition, I think.
I think both of them
Really
are gonna be
nice.
really nice, I'll
Really
tell you,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna find the food stand to be useful, I mean, we're coming into the silver green period of the corn, so should be good.
Yeah,
I haven't heard.
all right, so.
Last one, Marty?
No, I have, that's,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
8:22.
Oh my God, Aaron.
well, I thought it was worthwhile to bring up.